And
What's up? What's up, Magic? How are you, brother?
I'm good, brother. I hope you well.
I'm good, man. Wins always make me feel good. Wins are good for the soul, good for the morale, good for everything.
So Arsenal beat Sporting Lisbon on Tuesday, um,
Yes, we did. We did.
and
Um,
it's kept the noise down for now, which I'm glad. And of course, we've got Bournemouth on Saturday, which is tomorrow. No, tomorrow's
this is
Friday.
in 2 days. Yeah.
Yeah, which is in 2 days. So
Okay.
the title to this video is that Arsenal have gotten over the first hurdle and there's seven more to go, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but by me saying seven more to go, I'm including Premier Leagues and Champions League games. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a big one. It's a big one.
Yeah.
It's a big month. There's a lot happening this month. And we just cannot afford to lose any game. But who am I to say that it's possible to go to the end of the season without dropping any points? Our boys have shown that at times, they can be very unpredictable in how they decide to approach these games. So we only just wish for the best and want them to do well, of course, and win our remaining competitions.
Yeah. One game at a time. But
One
let's
game at a
start with
time.
some of the positives from this sporting win because I do have some complaints, but I hate to be that guy who complains off the bat right after winning. So the positives are, people are not positive. The obvious positive is we're back in the winning column, okay, and we're still undefeated. We're still the only undefeated team in the Champions League, right? And just for a little bit of perspective, Sporting up until we beat them, they were unbeaten in 17 games. In fact, to be more specific, they were on a 16-game win streak, okay,
Yeah.
and they had not. When we ended a 30-match scoring streak at home. So they had not scored at home for 30 games. So while the manner in which we did it was not the most exciting, it's worth bearing that was what was happening. In fact, one of the scalps they took in that run of theirs was the defending champions PSG. They beat them 2-1, right?
Yeah.
So people must put some respect on this win, okay? And then another positive for me was that Gabriel was back because there was a fitness doubt, so he was able to play. So that's a good thing. And
Yeah.
I also want to just say thank God for Raya, who was the eventual man of the match. You know, I can't help but wonder how the two previous games would have gone if he was there, but we can't cry over spilled milk. He was here for this one, and we kept a clean sheet. And they say a good keeper. I can't remember if it was Ferguson, whoever. He said a good keeper over a season will save you 7 to 9 points. I guess he's talking in the context of the league, but man, Raya has been worth his weight in gold. I know everybody's been talking about Rice, but Raya, we might have to look at for we're not talking about player of the season because he's really pulled his weight. If you think about how things go without Raya, the league title table looks probably a little bit different, at least our gap. Um, um, and while we're on Raya, man, just wanna throw this in there. Raya earns 120K per week, about, as opposed to Jesus's 265K per week. I'm just gonna put that and leave it there, right? And one last
Sorry, how
nice
much?
stat
How,
was
how much? How much does Raya earn?
120.
Wow. Wow.
120.
Yeah.
So I mean, you think about the value that he offers the team versus the value that Jesus
Jesus.
offers or doesn't offer the team. It's such
Yeah.
a it's such a it's such a it's one of those things that can create if we don't get rid of
No,
Jesus.
Jesus is dead weight.
Yeah,
Excuse the
and
pun.
another one, one last one last of the facts was Max Darman now became the youngest ever English player in history to be in the knockout phase, to play a knockout phase game in the Champions League. He actually still has until February next year to become the youngest scorer in the Champions League. So more power to him. I'm sure he'll break that record with time because he's that guy. But yeah, those are my positives for this game. We got the win, and just to eat some humble pie publicly. The guys that I had on my list of players that should leave the season at the end of the season went on to be the guys that created and scored the goal. I think I had Martinelli and Cobra Kai on that list. And they came on and said, yeah, shut up. What do you know? So I guess that's evidence that people shouldn't take everything we say as gospel. We're just fans. What do we know? Yeah.
That's funny. That's funny. I tend to enjoy saying negative things about certain players at times because I love it when they shut me up. And it seems like the minute you say something negative about these guys, then they just come out and do something. You know what I mean? So for me, I've
Yeah,
just
no,
got
listen,
the,
man.
you
I'm
know,
always
like,
I'm always quite happy to be proved wrong. I'm always quite happy when they shut me up because it's for the good of the team. But
same
yeah,
here,
this time
same here.
this time. Hmm.
Look, I've always known Martinelli is the border. My biggest issue with a lot of these players, we've seen Kai at his best as well, like that he can really be at a top level, you know. But my biggest issue is that these guys don't make that consistent, like each single game. You know what I mean? Like, and you know, there's a conversation we always have in the WhatsApp group, the Arsenal WhatsApp group, and we're always saying, okay, what's your definition of world class? For me, my definition of world class is someone who does it in and out every single game.
Yes,
Even on a bad game, but he will still get you something, like get you a goal,
yes,
you know, get you an
yes.
assist. You know what I mean?
Predictably,
Yeah,
yes.
like, and even if it's not his best game, but he will get something out of that game. For me, but these guys, when they're at the best, I mean, are playing at their best sort of level, they're amazing, man. You can compare them to the best, you know. But the problem is that they just don't keep that
Consistency.
consistent. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, they got the win. I was. Can I go into my gripes about this game? Holy moly, it was a snooze fest. Okay. I was bored to death. I was bored to death. I felt like we were playing with the handbrake on. It was one of those games where I get frustrated where it's like, man, sometimes I feel like we show teams too much respect. It's like, yo, we're the big team, okay? We must go in there and remember that we're the big team and we impose ourselves on the game, you know? And it felt very cautious. It felt very cautious. One of the guys in the group, actually, Raz, I should just give Raz a shout out for this because he predicted that the game was going to go this way. He said, "Yo, listen, let me tell you how the game is going to go." He said, "It's going to be a very pragmatic approach. We're going to just manage the first leg and go home, go to the home leg with maybe just a draw or a small win." Um, so he and then we finished them off like we did with Bayer Leverkusen. And yeah, he was right. He was right. But holy moly, man, mm-mm. It was not a fun watch at all. It was fun. It was not a fun watch. In fact, it was it was it was it was a bit scary because there was times when I was thinking um if it wasn't Dryer in posts, we might have conceded. I mean, they hit the crossbar. I had my bum proper clenched that time. Okay, They hit the crossbar, and there were moments where it's like, so I don't know. I feel like sometimes we just need to go in there and remember that we're the big team and impose ourselves. And if they want to get into a shootout with us, hope that we've got the bigger guns. That's it. You know what I mean? Um, how do you feel about how the game went in terms of our? Hey,
Look,
someone. Hey, say hi to from someone in the chat room. Someone from Australia. What's up, buddy?
cheers, salute, salute. Thank you for jumping on as well. We appreciate your support.
Yeah, bro.
Shout out to Australia. We know there's a big Arsenal fan base in Australia. So,
Hmm.
um, yeah. And it's what, like nighttime there. It's almost like what, probably, because I know the time difference is quite a,
Yeah,
um,
might be
quite big.
nighttime. So for guys to be
Yeah,
tuning in with us, that means a
yeah,
lot.
yeah. So yeah, look, I wasn't impressed with some of the with the performance yesterday, but I always know that it's always difficult to go to hostile environments like in Portugal and and play well. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Portugal. I mean, Benfica managed to give Real Madrid a bit of a hard time in Portugal as well. So Portugal is not the easiest place to go and play, but I think we did what we needed to do, which is make sure that they don't score against us, and
Yes.
that was the most important thing, to make sure that they don't score against us. Well, then we know
Yeah,
that as soon as we go home, we can definitely put a few away, right?
for sure.
Um,
For sure.
but I definitely think, look, that goal was dope. Like, I mean, that Martinelli, him cutting in and then uh, um, passing it. Or, I don't even know if you call that a pass or a cross, man. That was like a bit of
You
both. You know what I mean? Like,
Champions League Martinelli, dude,
yeah,
is like prime Ronaldinho. I don't know, like because even his stats in the Champions League, it's like what? It's 10 games, 6 goals, 2 assists, something like this. It's absolutely nuts. His
yeah,
Martinelli Champions League Martinelli is not to be played with, and
yeah, absolutely.
and and I think that goal was against uh was against the script in terms of what the captain or the coach would have wanted, right? Because I think I
Mm.
saw Rice sort of shouting at him to go back the other way, right? And this
Mhm.
guy just said, nah, I'm going for this thing. He ran and then he put in that slick pass. Everything
Mhm.
about it was beautiful. From the pass to the first touch of Havertz, man, and
Mm.
the finish clean. Go away, Russ.
Yeah.
The touch and finish from this guy was from Havertz was like Berbatov esque. You know, it was
So,
smooth.
so it was one of those moves that you can't even think of how you could possibly defend that, right? It was just one of those where you found a gap, even if you put a good wall to defend or whatever, but you still somehow get it through, right?
Yeah,
If you look at one of the goals as well that this thing scored, PSG scored against Liverpool. The first goal, they had five defenders on that guy, you know, five defenders, bro. But somehow he still managed to get this thing around all of them and go to the top right corner there to score. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
and that's where I think that's where we need a bit more of that, man, because players and teams know now that, okay, look, just don't give them space to put in a clean ball into the box. That's what everybody's doing against us every single game. But we need to now think out the box and excuse the pun, and basically find a way of getting that ball into the box. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Um, and I'm still sad that we don't find Jokeris enough. You know what I mean? And I really feel like if you give that man a ball and he's got, even if he's got one player in front of him, whatever, but you just need to give him a ball in time for him to either bend one or smash one in, you know. So I think we still have a lot to improve on next season in terms of how we can improve this attack, you know. And it baffles me, to be honest with you, because if you look at our previous seasons, even some games at the beginning of the season, like our attack was scary. Like, you know, we found ways of breaking down teams, and I just don't understand how we are struggling to do that right at the end of the season when we're about to finish the
I,
season.
I've got a bit of a theory on it, and um, it's down to Arteta, okay, which was actually my second big complaint, right? I feel like he overcoaches these guys, okay. I was looking at
Yeah,
the demeanor of the two coaches on the sideline, you know. Their coach was just sort of, you know, standing around, walking around, because you've coached the guys going into the game, you've given the instructions, they know the gameplay, we've done the drills. So on the day, just trust that they're going to execute what you need to, you know, maybe if you spot one or two things, you get up and you point it out and whatever. Arteta is always running up and down the pitch non-stop, directing every single pass. It's like he's playing PlayStation. Pass it this way, pass it that way, pass it this way. And I'm like, dude, like, just sit
no,
your
but
ass down.
nah,
Because wait, hold
nah.
on.
And then,
Can I just say something? Can I just say
okay,
something?
yeah,
Because Walcott made a statement about this, right? And who came with the statement? Trust the process. That was Ateta. But when he's running up and down there like a control freak, trying to control everything, telling everybody what to do, it doesn't look like he trusts the process. You know what I mean?
I'll tell
And
you why I don't agree with what you're saying, Max. Is because Pep does exactly the same thing. Pep does
man,
exactly the
sometimes
same
I see
thing.
Pep.
And no. You can see there are times where you can see that the boys are not doing as you instructed, perhaps before the game started, or you're trying to make sure that, listen, guys, we're at a point in time in the season where we can't afford to lose points, and I need to make sure that these boys don't lose lapse in concentration and stay in the positions or make the movements that I need them to make sure that we're in control of this game. So there are so many animated coaches out there, and I don't think the more animated a coach is on the sideline, the more it puts some sort of pressure on the players or makes or puts the players off. I just think that there's a lot of if the players know what's at stake here, and that alone is a lot to carry for some of these guys, and especially because they don't know what it feels like to win, to understand. So they don't know what it feels like to have that experience. And nobody wants to take the responsibility of being the one who lets the team down. They're all carrying that in their minds right now, you know?
Well. Look, you see. So first you talk about Pep. Pep Pep does get animated from time to time, but there are times when you've seen Pep sitting there with his arms folded, right? He's not up and down 90 minutes. My problem is Ateta is up and down the whole game. Okay. That's the first
Not the
thing. And
whole,
we've got
nah, don't exaggerate. I mean, like, it's
um,
most of the game, but
keep
it's not the whole
watching. Watch
game.
him next time. You'll see. You'll see. Because I've been watching him. It's something I've been noticing these last couple of games. That's why it's gotten to a boiling point. So I'm like, dude, sit down. Just sit down. Trust the process. You told us to trust the process. We need you to look like you trust the process because now you're making us
Yeah,
nervous. And here's the other thing, right?
nah.
Um,
Max, this is
you
this
know,
is this is the
I'm always complaining about Odegaard as captain, right? Because he's not my type of captain, right? However, he is, and you can see that he's kind of like a captain in terms of he's on the field telling everybody where to go, you know, just directing traffic like a Nyope boy, right? And so if you've got a captain like a coach on the pitch, like Odegaard, telling everybody where to go, orchestrating the press, why do we need that double from the coach on the sideline? I feel like it's a bit much, man. It's a bit much. Just trust your captain. I give you
look.
gave Odegaard the captaincy because of that. Let him
mm,
captain.
So I'm like I really don't agree with any of what you've said in this argument that you're making here, Max, and that's because trusting, just like you're talking about trusting the process. This
Yeah.
manager has a lot of pressure on him to win something big this season. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like we've got no right to say anything and how he does anything right now until the end of the season. Let us see how we do at after the end of the season. If we win anything, then you have every single right to bring up everything that you're talking about right now. But until then, this is in his mind, this is what he needs to do to win us a big competition. And let's trust the process and let him do what he feels because he's the manager. He's the man in charge right now, right? And
Okay.
we have to put our trust in the man in charge right now. We can't tell him on how to do his job and how he feels what how we feel is the best way to take off the pressure of the players. This is his team, Max. He spends more
Okay.
time with these boys than we do. So we need to be the ones that trust the process and allow this guy to do what he needs to do. And then if he doesn't, then we can come down on him
Then you
about
can.
every
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'll keep quiet about it because I mean, even Raz Raz was scolding me about it. Even. He said, "Hey, Max, remember where we came from. Remember where we came from."
Mm,
Okay. And he was talking.
mm.
He was talking
Look,
about like the period before
no,
Ateta
look,
arrived. So I was like, okay, cool. If that's what life was like before, I'll have to accept that this is how it looks and this is how it plays out.
yeah.
I'll keep my mouth shut. All I want is silverware, and you won't hear anything from me. You won't
That's
hear
it.
anything from
Like
me. But if there's no
look,
silverware,
you,
let me
yeah, of
tell you,
course,
I'm going to
Ma-
gather the mob. I'm going to lead the lynch
Max,
mob. We're going to be out here
you
with torches.
you
It's going to be
already
bad.
know that I'm the front man for that already. Like you hate the fact that I've even started an Arteta out brigade even way before this even season even began. Do you understand? Because I was so
Yeah.
disappointed in the last 3 4 seasons where we came so close but just could never get over the line. I told myself that I'm going to give this guy one more chance. I'm going to see if the team is going to give him the tools that he needs, which I think they did this season.
I think
And
so too.
now it's just a matter of just shut up, sit back, and let's let him do his
And
job.
let the man
Right?
cook. Let the man
Yeah,
cook. Okay.
that's it.
Let me ask you this, right? I think
Yeah.
you might know the answer, but the same answer. But I once asked myself this when we were in the middle of nowhere, like say Manchester and Chelsea, right? And I
Mm.
asked myself, would I would I trade in the Arsenal DNA, right? The way we play football, which is very enterprising and sexy. I mean, if you look at like some of the best goals that have ever been scored in the EPL, half of those would be Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
And if you ask me, okay, would I trade that in for like a stiff approach, like like Mourinho type, defensive type, but guaranteed for silverware? Would I take that offer?
Of
And
course.
that's my question
Of
to you.
course.
Huh?
Of course. I just give me dog. I don't care how we win. I want silverware. That's I keep telling people that that's the whole concept of this game that we watch called football. It's not about
Win.
look how far he's gotten us. Look how we've just been coming second. And no, like even if we come second for 5 10 seasons in a row or 10 seasons in a row, I'm sorry. Like I'm not happy. I want to know what it feels like to experience glory and winning.
Yeah,
Do you understand? That's the
yeah.
concept for me. That's of understanding what sports and football should be about. It's about
That's what we came
winning.
here for. That's what we
Yeah.
came here for. No, okay, okay. I
I
guess that was a stupid question. That was a
you
stupid
know,
question because my answer is the same. I'd also trade it all in for some silverware.
absolutely,
But we're
absolutely.
living
Like
it right now. I'm hoping this is a phase.
I'd rather have a decorated cabinet than just like
Then vibes.
and that's the problem with our football club. If you actually look at the last 22 years, we played some of
Yeah.
the sexiest football, but we had nothing at the
Also,
like. to show for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we're at a point in time now where it's like, okay, look, screw the fancy football. Let's show that we can actually get something. You
Get,
know?
get results.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm
yeah,
with you there, man. I'm with you
yeah,
there. Well,
yeah,
well, that's how it's going. Right now, we're
yeah,
not having our sexiest moments, but we're getting the results still.
yeah.
Let's forget the previous two games, but we're still on
Yeah.
course for the double. And I'll take it. With Arteta running
Absolutely,
up and down the pitch,
absolutely,
boring as it might be sometimes, I'll take it.
absolutely. And look, we are running out a bit of time, Max. So I just want us to, but yeah, we'll make another video tomorrow about
For the weekend's game. Yeah,
for
okay,
the
cool.
weekend's game.
But before we
But
go, man, I just want to give a big thank you to everybody who's been sharing and liking the video. If you're new, share
absolutely,
and like, and don't forget to
absolutely,
subscribe.
subscribe. Yep.
Your participation has not gone in vain. In fact, our last video we
Yeah,
doubled everything. You know, we doubled our viewership, we doubled everything. So we do see what you guys have been doing, and we appreciate it. Keep doing the Lord's
absolutely.
work.
And
Um,
to also put on to turn on the notification buttons for when our videos do um get released or uploaded. You know.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's call that a day for today. And then we will get into the weekend's game in a day or two closer to the time.
Yeah. But
Hopefully, yeah.
we definitely have to take this game. And I look, to be honest with you, I think the team that we had yesterday is efficient enough to take on Bournemouth with without Timber and Saka. I don't want to rush Timber and Saka back for this game. I'd rather save them for the City game, which is the next. No.
The one
Before we
after
even
that.
play City, we're playing Sporting again next week.
Yeah.
So we're playing
Yeah.
Sporting again, then City. So I'd rather save those boys for the City game because I know that we're gonna need all our guns firing for that game. You know,
Yeah.
but
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, well, I mean, we'll get into that and a lot more because I also want to
Yeah,
have the Max discussion. Whether he should start or whatever for this coming weekend. But so there's a lot to talk about this next coming game. Contextually speaking, like you're saying. Um,
yeah,
but yeah, man, um, let's get into it when we get into it. But for now, it is a win against Sporting, and let's leave that on a good note.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for watching, guys. We will be with you shortly in a day or two to discuss the Bournemouth game. And until then, come on, you Gunners. Let's do this.
Salutations, guys. See you at the top.
We've gone over the first hurdle. We've got 7 more to go. All right,
The
cool.
business end. Cheers.
Sharp. Peace.
Peace.